three very different stories that are reported in the world's business press are really three facets of one story. And that one story is that for the first time in the history of business, the idea of using automation technology, which 200 or 300 years ago revolutionized agriculture, a couple hundred years ago changed the face of industry, and then manufacturing, and then assembly in the early part of the 20th century, which came in the mid-20th century to back office data processing in large corporations. All of those were automation revolutions that utterly and completely changed the way we work and changed the productivity expectations we could have for agriculture, industry, and data processing. What is happening now, we believe, is that for the first time, we are developing technology not for the back office, but for the front office. Technology that is not just about faster, better, cheaper, but is about actual growth-oriented impacts on customer relationships, because it's technology in the form of highly compelling screens, devices like iPod, virtual assistants like Emily, which are becoming the new form of capital equipment, a kind of automation technology substituted for human workers in interacting with our customers. So impact number one is the simple idea that we saw 30 years ago with automated teller machines in retail banking, of the substitution of capital equipment for human labor. The second impact is one we think of as complementarity, and that is the combination of human talent with technology capability, either to use machines to support human beings in serving customers, or to use human beings in supporting technology as the interface that serves customers. And clearly, you could argue that every one of the leading edge businesses on the web, from Google to Amazon to eBay to the equivalents around the world, are examples of enormous productivity based on a technology front end, supported by a relatively small number of people on the back end, who are able then to serve global audiences with search, with commerce, with auction services, making use of this kind of complementarity. The final impact is what some people refer to as the offshoring or best shoring or outsourcing revolution, which is, again, a product of ubiquitous networks, billions of proliferated smart devices that now make it possible to move the service provider thousands of miles away from the locus of service provision. Now, these three impacts are, of course, very exciting, because it means, for one thing, that we can start to see in services where economies like Taiwan generate roughly 75 to 80% of their gross domestic product output, we can begin to see services experience the kind of productivity gains we've seen in manufacturing and data processing previously. But maybe more interestingly, we can begin to envision not just advantages on the cost side, but the opportunity to use technology to change the nature of customer relationships and drive growth on the upside.